All right, welcome back. So next up, we have a whole pit crew worth of folks here from Daimler. See what I did there, pit crew? Where they have a centrally curated DevOps toolchain, including Cloud Foundry. And as part of running their platform as a product, which is the mindset that all high-performing platform teams use, they go as far as to provide KPIs as a service to their users. So let's find out from them what that actually means. Take it away.
Yeah, hello everybody. I would like to welcome you to our presentation about how Daimler is dealing with DevOps KPIs. First of all, I want to thank VMware for the organization and the possibility to present our project here, especially in these unusual times. Next slide. So just before we start, I would like to introduce my co-presenters and myself. So I'm Roland. I'm working with Daimler as a platform architect for the Daimler-wide Cloud Foundry platform. And I take care about automation, surrounding services, integration into Daimler ecosystem, and some financial stuff. And I would like to hand over to my colleague, Thomas Müller now.
Hello, my name is Thomas Müller. I'm since 5 years now with Daimler, and since 2 years, I'm the product owner for our Cloud Foundry team. We are from the Daimler team. We are located in Stuttgart, Germany, and our department is providing IT infrastructure solutions to the complete company and all the business areas. With our Daimler Hybrid Cloud strategy, we are providing on and off premises platforms to the developers. And further in the team, there are also VMware guys. Now I hand over to Dieter.
Hello, I'm Dieter. I'm working for VMware. I'm a solution engineer with the company since 9 years. I come from the Pivotal side, and I'm really happy to work with the Daimler team and be part of this team right off the start of the Cloud Foundry journey at Daimler.
Hi, and my name is Robert Werner. I'm about 3 years now with Pivotal and now VMware, and I have the role of the Global Engagement Director for Daimler.
Okay, thank you guys. So before we deep dive into, first of all, how we get to Cloud Foundry, just a short introduction. And it all started with an application called the Mercedes Me app. It's an application where all Mercedes customers are able to track their telemetry data. And we are offering some remote services, for example, remote parking within this app. Next slide. And this app was built on an IBM WebSphere monolith, and our colleagues from our research and development department reached out to us and aimed Cloud Foundry as their target platform to rebuild their monolith into microservices. And so we got to Cloud Foundry and built a few platforms around the globe where we could host this application. And as mentioned, this was a dedicated platform only for this project because just of its size and its importance, we dedicated all the platforms only to them. Next slide. Yeah, but we noticed that Cloud Foundry is a great technology, and we decided to pitch this to our management, that we get the opportunity to build a Daimler-wide shared Cloud Foundry platform for all our application projects. And we got the approval from our management and started building it. And since the beginning of 2019, we are live with our shared platform. At the moment, we're having nearly around 100 application projects on our platform. And currently, we're focusing on the integration into the Daimler ecosystem, especially in our Daimler Hybrid Cloud strategy. And some words to that also. Next slide. Yeah, our Daimler Hybrid Cloud strategy is a mixture of on-premise and off-premises solutions. And in the on-premise world, we are offering Cloud Foundry as a platform as a service, container as a service based on Docker and Kubernetes. And we also have a great DevOps toolchain with GitHub, Jenkins, and all the stuff you need. And of course, we also have the big hyperscalers in our portfolio. to fit all the needs our developers has. And now I want to hand over to Thomas to dig deeper into this topic.
Yes, hello, back again. So what I want to talk to you is about how we are handling KPIs and monitoring right now within Daimler. So since 2 years, there was a new twice as fast strategy from our top management with the goal to gain more speed in the application development in the business areas. One of these pillars was also to get more visibility on the KPIs we have on these platforms. So what you can see here is a snippet of this tool, which currently is tracking the tenant growth of the cloud platforms we have there. But there are also other teams which are providing their measures and their figures into this tool. It's like an API management team, which is providing the APIs, and also the cybersecurity team with some measures from their end, and some other more teams which are into this tool. So besides this tool, we in our team, we have also platform monitoring in place, but which is very minor and not in a big state right now. We are currently only focusing on the capacity management for our operations team, and then further on the gigabyte RAM hours, what the applications are using, because this is our figure how we make an internal controlling with our business applications. Further, there is AI and SI reporting to get like a kind of feeling what is going on the platform, which services have a higher demand than other ones. But further, we are really living the platform as a product approach. So really have to focus on the developers, be customer-centric within our organization. And through to all this, we have a high motivation now to really improve also on the KPI topic, which we are currently want to do with our new tool. Next. So we attended in the last years to several conferences like Cloud Foundry Summit, or also the Spring One in Washington. There have been lots of great speaker sessions where we really get much of the knowledge we have right now. So on this side, short shout out to all the speakers in the past which shared their story. What we learned is that really the product approach is very important. So this really formed our mission, what we have in our team, in our thinking, that we are building the platform that not for us, we are building it all for the Daimler developers. And this is one of the main focus and our main thinking, what we have behind our decision making and all our daily business, what we are doing with the platform, and have this developer focus. Next. Here's just a small look on our technical overview. So in the middle, the Cloud Foundry platform, where I guess everybody could maybe install the Cloud Foundry by everyone itself. But I guess the first challenge for us was to selecting the platform services. And this was maybe the first demand we got from the developers to extend the platform service portfolio. There we integrated the pivotal services at first, and then further we went with the Any9 services. And then one of the next steps has been, because not every application within Daimler is alone. There are lots of integrations into the Daimler ecosystem with Daimler services like authorization, object storage, and all this stuff. And further, the communication to other applications, which is also very, very interesting here. Further, we also built within our DHC portfolio the CI/CD deployment based on Jenkins, so that there are also many benefits for the developer teams when they want to start their journey on our Cloud Foundry platform. Next. Further, we have several initiatives and activities we are currently doing to enable our application owners and our developers. Beginning with a kickoff session for every application team, further for internal presentation in departments, or also in external conferences like this one right now, or last year on the Cloud Foundry Summit in Netherlands. Further, we enable the Daimler developers with developer workshops, and also with our VMware team, where we had several productive sessions. We have also several kind of intranet channels for our communication, like GitHub documentation, social intranet, Mattermost channel, newsletter, and all this stuff. But for direct communication, we have two parts. There's one time our weekly Q&A session, where all the developers from all over the Daimler world can connect here, and then in different time zones we can answer their questions. Further, we have also a physical meetup in our Stuttgart plant, where then the Stuttgart guys can come together for a real physical meetup and just presenting their user stories, and also a digital webinar session for the international guys. And now, due to COVID times, now everything in digital webinar sessions. Now, our latest thing is the application scan. So together with the VMware team, we have an application scan running just for cloud readiness assessment, to really scanning our legacy applications and then moving on to the transformation to such cloud platforms like our Cloud Foundry platform, or in our neighborhood team, the Kubernetes platform. So these are our things, how we handle this product approach. And with this one, I want to hand over to Robert.
Okay. So Thomas said the team treats the platform as a product and not as a one-off project. What does that actually mean? That means that the evolution of the platform never stops. So there's always something going on: patching, upgrades, changes. At the same time, the wish list from the users for new features is growing longer and longer, and the backlog is too large to be handled by the team with a given time. And this, of course, creates a challenge. How do you decide what to prioritize? Or in other words, what does good look like? Next slide, please. Ask your users. I think this is the most obvious thing. And of course, the team is already doing this. You just heard Thomas speaking about that. And I personally know for a fact that the platform team already spends a significant part of their daily routine gathering all the feedback from the users. But the global user base is growing really fast. And of course, we're very happy about that. But at the same time, it becomes obvious that the team will not scale in the same pace. On top of that, you will never reach users in an equal manner, because not everyone is providing the same level or the same quality of feedback. Next slide, please. So look at your data. And luckily, we're using Cloud Foundry, so we're actually sitting on a treasure trove of data. And numbers don't lie, you know that. With this, the idea was born to use the data that the platform already provides and to feed a KPI dashboard with that. Also, we had in mind to make this information available to everyone. So not just to the platform team, but also to the users. And hence the name of our talk, KPIs-as-a-service. So far, so good. But what data is interesting and what KPIs should we use? Next slide, please. If you ask yourself such a question and you start searching the web, you quickly will find the State of DevOps report. I can really recommend everyone to follow the link and take a look for yourself. There's really a lot to learn. It's about 80 pages, easy to digest. But please wait until after the talk. In short here, this is an annual report where survey data is being used from really thousands, tens of thousands of developers around the world. And through applying of statistical methods, the team, the authors, they try to determine what drives software delivery and operational performance. And the key takeaways for us were the following. There are actually some key metrics that distinguish successful teams from others. Next slide, please. I mean, there is much more to it, but for now, real quick, there are 4 key metrics that the authors identified, and they apparently make a very big difference. For instance, deployment frequency. So how often does the organization deploy code to production or release it to end users? And now with our setup in mind, with our platform, we decided to focus on this particular metric, the deployment frequency. And now I hand over to Dieter, and he will show you what we and how we implemented that.
So there is already a lot of data available in the platform and Cloud Foundry. But the question for us was, so what can we learn from that data? Can we learn what is important for our customer, the developer? What is used by our customer? And with this information, does it us help to learn where we need to focus on as a platform operations team to deliver a service that really fulfills the requirements of our customer? Other technical initial questions were, how to access the data in Cloud Foundry, and for sure, how to analyze and visualize the data. There are plenty of technologies available on the market, and we decided to choose something that is super simple and that is nearly available on each computer. So our approach was to develop a KPI-as-a-service application, a Spring Boot application for sure that leverages all the goodness available via Spring, for example, Actuator, Spring Cloud, and Spring Data, and other great stuff. And the question is, so why did we choose to develop such an application? So the platform already provides data. So there is plenty of data. But our goal is to have some long-term visibility. We would like to learn, we would like to see trends over a long time period. We would like to understand how many deployments go into production over long term. We would like to understand if application technologies change on the platform, in which direction does it go? And therefore, we implemented the Spring Boot application to have scheduled jobs that run each day and to take a snapshot of the data that is available on the platform. So we take all the applications deployed, the services deployed, the orgs and spaces, stacks and build packs available on the platform, and other things each day. And we also collect event data. As you know, so whenever you interact with a Cloud Foundry instance, with a CF push, for example, you generate a lot of audit events. And what we do is we also collect all these events over a long time period. And this allows us actually to get some transparency into the number of pushes that happen in production long term. We choose something that is simple and that is available on nearly every machine. So we chose Excel to generate or to visualize our reports and to analyze the data we gather. Therefore, we use an open source project called Apache Poi, which is there to manipulate Microsoft files. And we use that to generate our Excel files. The architecture of the application is like this. So there is the Metriker application, the Spring Boot application. You can run it everywhere. So you can run it on your local machine. You can run it somewhere in the cloud on a server. Best to run it on Cloud Foundry. And the Metriker talks to the Cloud Controller of Cloud Foundry via the Cloud Controller API and gathers each day the data from the platform and stores the data in a database. So whenever there is the need from the platform operations team to know what is going on the platform. So what is the experience with the platform? How many deployments go into production? What are the build packs used these days? Then they use the endpoints provided by this Metriker application, like the zip endpoint, to trigger the generation of the report and the download of the report to the local machine. Here is a quick example to give you a glimpse how that all works. So you execute the HTTP request to the zip endpoint. The report is generated. The report is downloaded to your local machine, and there you unzip the report. And what you get is two files. There is one data and one template file. The data file actually contains all the data that we collected via the Metriker application. And the template file, so this is actually the report template. So there we have, for example, pivot tables and pivot charts that we use in order to get these nice graphs and get transparency into what is going on in the platform and the values actually that are provided to the customer, to the developer. So once the report is downloaded, we just need to open it and get these kind of graphs. In this case, it is the build pack usage on the platform over all the applications, and we can see the biggest portion of the build packs used by the developers the Java build pack. Here are other examples for reports. On the left-hand side, you can see a report about the number of deployments into production. And as Robert said before, so this is really a good metric to understand how good the DevOps is implemented, right? So the more and easier it is to deploy into production, the better it is. On the right-hand side, you can see a graph that shows us the build pack usage over time. And you might be, for example, interested if you have some custom build packs on the platform, if they are really used, if there are more and more developers using that, and at the end, if it makes sense to invest more time to make them even better as they are. So with this, I come to the technical conclusion. So what we did with this application is, it is a proof of concept. We wanted to do learning by doing. We wanted to understand, is the data available on the platform good enough to understand more about our customer, about the developer, how happy the developer is to gather his DevOps metrics. And we also wanted to build the application with a little effort in order to produce some first results. So we are open to hear your ideas, and maybe there are other applications you already built. We would like to start the exchange with you if you are interested in. And if you would like to give it a try, the source code is on GitHub. With this, I would like to pass the ball to Thomas.
Yes, so our hopes in the benefits with the new KPI tool are into this direction that we really get this platform approach, this product approach running, so that we really constantly question ourselves: is the decision making we are doing, is this in the right direction? Is there an easy integration into the Daimler ecosystem services, or are there any other obstacles for the developers why they are not deploying on the other day or the other day? So you just heard just a small bunch of KPIs we are currently have in our backlog, or maybe currently have also running in our tool. So there could be a lot of more KPIs which will be much more necessary for this DevOps topic. Even if it's like the road to production time or some other things you could ever think about this in yourself. Further, if we have this now in a stable version, we really want to communicate this and even get the benefits there to all our Daimler colleagues, so that we really do a marketing within our big company over all of our intranet channels, share such KPIs, and then maybe also share user stories from one or the other developer team, that also other developer teams see, okay, maybe this new platform has some benefits for me as well. And then that we really onboard much more applications, which then interfere much more into the digital transformation in our company. Next. Yeah, so big thank you from all four of us to you to listen to our talk. I hope it was interesting for you. You got some insights there as well. We really like you to join our Q&A sessions. We want to hear some feedback, some answers from you. Feel free to talk there to us. Otherwise, you can reach out to us on our LinkedIn profiles. They're collected here. And then, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And then see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much to the team from Daimler. It's amazing and a little scary that Mercedes drivers are relying on our platforms to be able to do things like remotely starting their cars. Now, we learned from Netflix and Google that operations is the secret sauce to creating amazing software. What we just learned from Daimler is that it's also the secret sauce to creating amazing cars. Don't forget to hit them up in Q&A, and we will be back shortly.